Yes.
Oh shit. Alright. Can I put a chair for drinks?
The fuck, mate. It's just... Yeah.
I need
On
to
the
s-
side.
I need to sippity sip. Okay.
Hello guys, I'm here with my cousin Blake from Australia, but with Italian background. Puoi parlare italiano?
Sì, certo.
Grande. Anyway, we will be speaking English.
English e un po' italiano.
A little-
Vediamo. We'll see.
We will see what happens, but I've been meaning to do this podcast with him for quite a long time in Adelaide. That's where we come from. I mean, I'm from Italy, but I lived there for 11 years. And the last 2 years I've been traveling Asia, Chiang Mai, Thailand, Japan, few countries. And Blake has been here how long?
Over 2 years this time. Came here the first time like 10 years ago with my dad. But then I went back to Australia, studied, went to art school, and worked a bit. Now I'm back here. So, yeah, when we were both in Adelaide, we had this dream to have a podcast. So it's years in the making.
It
Yeah.
started because we always, when I went to his house with his mother lives in Adelaide, and his sister, we always gathered together 1 or 2 nights a week, and we used to have a tea and smoke some weed and go out with a cup of tea and walk the streets of Adelaide, and we always wanted to do this podcast on the movement.
Yeah, this idea of like everyone always sits down during podcasts. We wanted to, be a bit different and walk and talk. So we called it Tea Walk was the idea, because where I lived at the time was along the river, and so we'd go for night walks and like have these philosophical existential discussions and whatnot. And in the moment it felt profound. We wanted to like capture it, but yeah.
But we will see. We begin with the sitting down, and if it's meant to be, we will start walking.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, Blake is a beautiful artist. As you can see, this is in the background are some of his artworks, and he has been doing art for how long now?
Ongoing probably since about high school, but like, I grew up drawing and painting, but it was on and off until about high school, late teens. I had the idea like I wanted to live a creative, artistic life. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel fulfilled in my kind of soul. So, yeah. But yeah, so after high school, I went to I did like extra studies like in arts and design, and then went to art school like 4 or 5 years ago. Now I'm here, which we're in my studio in Chiang Mai, and above the very special Magic Brew coffee shop. So
If you guys are in Thailand and Chiang Mai, you can come have a beautiful tea, coffee. Here is nice and good price.
yeah, very lovely people, and me and my dad have been here, and we've helped their business, and in turn they helped us by allowing us to create this studio. So like, yeah, it's a very lovely kind of relationship we have with them, and just the idea of like giving, just to give for its own sake, to like help the community, and then in turn things come back to you.
How
it's
did
very-
you help?
Well, these guys, they were in a little stall before, and they had to move, so they came here. But it was a bigger space, and it was empty, like plain white walls and everything. So we painted the sign for them and like painted a mural.
The
And
Magic Brew sign, you painted it, right?
yeah, hand painted. Just like try to show the uniqueness of the place, because it was like generic and bland before, so we like tried to imbue it with magic, you know.
I can
that it
see
deserves.
I can see some of your paintings on the walls too.
Mm.
Did you offer Win about putting some of your paintings on the walls?
Yeah, he's definitely open to it.
And you say, look, I bring you customers, I put a beautiful art, you give me coffee for free.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah, it's a special spot, and yeah, like I do have, of course, unfinished paintings lying around that I could finish and just put on the walls here. But yeah, it's just juggling many projects at once, which is always the dilemma in this fast world. But the paintings you see behind us, they are part of an exhibition that I want to do. Yeah, here, which would be like my first solo show, and
you are having an exhibition.
And that's the plan. That's what these paintings are for. I've got 6 more to produce, this same size. Since being here, the idea kind of again grew sort of organically, and the method of making these paintings was born out of the ability to print cheaply in Chiang Mai. So everything is a lot less expensive than in Australia, what I'm used to. So here I was able to print this size, like other illustrations and artworks that I've done. And then my idea was that like this was just a drawing, just a sketch, and I printed it this scale, and then I could paint on top. So it's interesting about like being here has allowed for like the exploration of different methods in my practice, which is, it's been interesting. Yeah.
And can I ask you, what substance did you take in the process of these beautiful paintings? Because they look quite out of this world.
That they do. High on life.
High on life, but experienced with substance.
Yes, correct.
All artists have experienced. I have also. I think we all are artists in the depth. We are all artists, and the most miserable people out there in this world are the ones that don't tap into their creativity. But life is made of creation. We are here as creative. We have been created, so we also are creators, and we need our nature is to create. No matter, everyone have different way of creating. There's people who create with their body. They move their body, even from martial arts. This is what I do, martial arts and things like this. To me, this is art. You express yourself with your body. Then you can dance, things like this. Blake is painting. It's all different type of creation, but you need to do your own and understand which is your unique creativity.
Questo è la verità. You speak the truth, mate. We're creative beings, and we live and exist in a creative universe. It's not one that's created and finished. It's creative. It's always creating, and everything
always changing,
and there's life is like breathed through everything. So the idea about creativity is I like to make this distinction between being creative and being artistic, where people think, oh, I'm not creative because they think they can't draw or something. But, you know, maybe they think I'm not artistic, like I don't have a drawing ability or something. But being creative is like much more than being able to make a pretty picture. It's I heard it described that it's just about problem solving, you know, thinking about how to create solutions and solve problems. You have to think outside the box. Creativity is inherent in that process. Any problem you encounter, you have to use creativity to find a solution for something. And that just affects all areas of life, you know, and it like expresses in all sorts of ways, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And also I feel that the best creators are the ones that experience a lot of pain in life, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of painful experiences. And definitely for a man, I mean, in my personal experience, heartbreak with a woman, as each heartbreak I went through has revealed a deeper layer of me, which kind of allows more creativity to come out, to try to channel the pain, to release the pain. So for me it's martial art. When I experience a lot of pain, martial art is my escape, because without it then would be traumatic. Also drawing, definitely drawing is it's quite because it's instant. You just need a paper and a pen and just start drawing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy it. So immediate and capturing the moment of processing something, or, you know, it's not like suffering is necessary to make art, but it, you know, if you feel fine, then there's not really anything to really process. You can enjoy it. You can also create with that, like, nice, pleasant, or inspired feeling. But then so much art is born from pain and suffering, because something is difficult, there's like, you're encountering some sort of resistance or blockage, something that like is a bit, you can't quite comprehend, and you're engulfed in it. And so there's some sort of outlet that you need to be able to work through it. And art is just like the universal medicine for that, be it like music, martial arts, anything. Like,
Yes.
it's very profound and very ancient. And yeah.
I think most artists struggle with putting their work out there, to share their unique artwork, out of fear of rejection, of my art is not good, things like this. But what I've noticed and often come across is that often your own art that you hate is the one that is most loved by others. And it's crazy how it works, but often it's like that.
Very common, yeah. I've experienced this with other artists as well, like at art school and just in general, that, I mean, you think you as the creator, you have a better judgment about what is better and worse of like what you've created, but you're just the same as everyone else in terms of your personal preference for something, and maybe it's different because you were involved in the process of making something, so it's different for you. But it's so often you hear that like there's pieces that I've done that I don't really think about sharing online or showing to people, or I don't think that much of, but for some reason other people really gravitate to that because it speaks to them, because like, again, we all have our certain preferences and like histories and experiences that, you know, that we resonate with. So
Yeah.
it's good to remember that like, yeah, it's worth knowing that you should just share everything that you do, because you don't know who else is going to resonate with that. I think that's important to remember. Yeah.
To remember. Yeah. We have our own special terminology sometimes. I say, sometimes instead of saying "Do you remember?" I say "Do you remember?"
And it means something slightly different, but means nothing at all.
It's
just
another form of art. It's just because sometimes it's boring to always say the same thing. So,
yeah.
do you remember?
Some of these terms we had were born out of the tea walks that we had, you know.
Yeah.
Those long walks at night talking about life. And it's just a form of connection to like create your own language as well.
Like another one is you never answer, answer, what the fuck is going on? Then you never answer, answer. I made the song because he never usually answers his phone when I call him. So I send him a audio message saying, you never answer.
Don't call me. Leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Instead of saying you never answer, it's fucking boring, I made a song out of it. See, this is another form of art. It's beautiful art. You make art out of nothing, out of stupid thing. Anyway.
Yeah, it's important. It's like play is, I think, a great word, where play like births all sorts of things, even like serious things like work. Just approach it with a form of play, and like, again, it's creative and it's like having fun with it as well.
See, I love Blake so much because when I meet him, I feel like I don't take life as seriously anymore, although I've hit rock bottom recently, literally, out of a heartbreak that has dismantled me. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, heartbreak. What is your experience with heartbreak with women, or heartbreak with family, anything? If it shaped you, if you want to talk about your experience.
Yeah, I think it is necessary. It's part of life. It's part of the many deaths that we encounter throughout life. Like, there's the great death of our individual life at the end, but throughout life there's all sorts of endings and transformations that we go through. And it's good, like, it's obviously painful. Pain, as we've talked about, creates a lot of beauty in the world and like helps others. So there's like almost a necessity to it, but like, you don't want to remain in innocence forever. You have to live life. We came here to experience life, and life, it just encompasses the whole spectrum. So there's amazing experiences and tragic experiences, and it all informs our human nature and like existence as human beings. And in my personal experience, I feel like it comes back to something that me and my dad are working on currently. So me and my dad have created a publishing brand, and there's one book that we're almost finished with at the moment, where my grandfather was a psychologist and child psychiatrist, and he wrote a lot in his life, and very influenced and informed by like the founders of attachment theory. So this is where I'm going, heading towards, is like attachment styles and things like that. So so we're putting together a book based on his writings, and it's a lot about attachment styles, attachment theory. And so I think like heartbreak really reveals like your wounds and how you relate and belong with other people, and like when you get used to some form of attachment and then it breaks apart, like it really reveals your whole kind of like identity and like
It
how,
dismantles your ego.
yeah, and like it comes back to like if you're secure in yourself, it feels like you're kind of whole. But if you're insecurely attached, you are incomplete and you are like needing someone to complete you. And so like a heartbreak for someone who's insecurely attached can just like ruin their entire world and existence, because it's just such a fundamental, like it feels like your own insides are being torn apart. But if you're complete in yourself, for sure, like no matter what, we have to experience pain in life. And I heard it described that like pain is a necessity, but suffering is a choice. So suffering is like the degree to which you kind of react or respond to pain you experience. And for sure, with like the wounds that we carry, it's so difficult to try to be okay. Like, and it's okay not to be okay. Like, you have to work through it, and we all have things to work through. But for sure, it's tough. Life is tough.
What is a way to work through a heartbreak? Art?
Yeah. Having some sort of outlet to process, writing, talking, drawing, moving, other people. Yeah, community is like a very important aspect.
Yeah, community is important.
If you're isolated, if you're just in yourself, that's like just amplifies the destructive parts, and like doesn't help to heal and like work through what you're
Although
going through.
I feel like often at this moment of my life I am not isolating, but I'm kind of alone, lonely, because I deeply believe at times when something really, really tragic and meaningful and profound happened, that, like in my own experience, I broke up with my girlfriend, which is the purest heart I've ever encountered in my life, and we broke up out of my own insecurities and my ignorance on how to treat her with gentleness, softness, and care. Out of my own stress, I couldn't deal with my own stress, so I projected onto her. Anyway, it's a long story. And at times, you need to be alone to process, It's very painful, yes, but I think it's necessary also to have a period where you are completely alone to process things.
Yeah, that's tough, but also necessary. To confront, the thing head on. Sometimes you have to part of the
Because
process is going down the path of solitude to.
Yeah, because at times, of course, it's a balance. There is a time, you need to listen to yourself and know when you have to be alone. Life is all a game about stillness and movement. You need to know when to be still, listen to yourself, and know when you need to act. Because many people remain stagnant when there is need to move, and vice versa. When they need to stay alone, they indulge in distraction. So yeah, try to listen to your body as much as you can. I'm kind of becoming good at it, but still learning. But after so much pain, I'm starting to listen to my body and realize when I need to hibernate, to be with myself completely, and then when it's time to meet people or when to take action into specific thing.
Mm-hmm. And I think, yeah, we can all do with getting more out of our own heads. I think we can be too caught up in the intellectual, the logical, the rational, and not in touch with the body and the feeling. And like movement comes with that, like moving like with the body and not just like sitting in the mind and ruminating is very like healing. Yeah, so what have you found most beneficial in the process of like processing and healing from heartbreak? Is it these times of solitude and like going within yourself, or is it a mixture of
The literally like I'm replaying the memories. I feel like a movie every day. I feel like a movie of my times with her. I keep seeing the same thing where I've acted very bad towards her, and it's a pain beyond measure. But every time I feel like I need to keep going through those memories to understand truly how I behaved and why. Because most people, when those painful memories come to mind, they escape. And that's how you will never heal by escaping, because you need to go through the storm like the buffalo. The buffalo is the first animal, the only animal that is the first to walk towards the storm by purpose, because they know that the faster they walk into it, the faster they come out of it. It's actually true. The buffalo, they know when the storm comes, they walk straight into it. So I'm kind of adopting the same mentality, and I really stay with my pain and see the memory of me and her together when I acted in a bad way, and reflect and make sure that I will never ever hurt somebody like her in my life, because it's the most painful thing you can go through. I feel like when you lose your mother or your father, yes, it's painful, but you have no control over it. You cannot do anything about it. It's life. But when you hurt somebody's heart, you have the choice, you have the control. And when you decided, when you did destroy them, their heart, then the pain is unmeasurable, it's unbearable, because you had the choice. But when someone dies, you have no choice. It's painful, but you lose that person, but it was inevitable.
Yeah.
But heartbreak is to me, has been the most painful thing in my experience in life, ever. Nothing can compare to a heartbreak.
Yeah, you can actually die from heartbreak. That can happen. Yeah, the only thing you can control, you can't control anything that happens around you. You can only control what you do and within yourself, how you think, how you feel, what you do, what you say. So it's good to confront that, and like, because you maybe on the surface you think, oh, okay, like I've worked through this or whatever, but a different situation is going to bring up the same pattern or behavior, and like maybe you thought you worked through it, but you know, the same triggers trigger the same reactions, and
That's exactly what happened with me.
yeah.
Because before meeting her, I thought I'm good. You see, every time you end up in a relationship, things come up again, because that person is like a mirror, and they bring up things that in you that you forgot completely about you. Often the bad things, and thanks to another this is what I think. Meditation is very important. I'm very advocate of meditation, but also to learn to grow spiritually. But to have someone to be with each and every day that can show you how you are is another fundamental thing. Like fall in love with the woman. You understand so much about yourself, especially after breakup. Things that maybe meditation would have taken much longer for you to realize. But yeah, connection with another human being is essential.
Yeah, it's fundamental. What was I going to say about that?
Like
yeah,
somebody you can be completely naked, drop all the walls, because with your best friend, yes, you can drop some walls, but not all of them. But with a woman, when you find a woman, you drop everything.
Yeah,
It's
can
fundamental.
be completely vulnerable and like come together in some form of union or like unity. All the world's words for love, like love in different languages, most of them can trace their root back to the idea of unity. So for most of the like languages of the world, love means unity. I think that's what it is. It's about connection and like coming together. And what I was going to say was that you have to have experiences with other people, not just like you yourself, but we are mirrors of each other. We get informed about ourselves through interactions and relationships with other people. And there's like four, like you learn about yourself when you're on your own, and you learn about relationships and being with other people when you're on your own. And then in a relationship, you learn about yourself when you're in a relationship. And then you learn about being in a relationship when you're in a relationship. And I've kind of found it's like you're either in or not in a relationship. And there are times, you like learn about yourself and other people in each. And so sometimes it's like, no, I need to be like my own person and cultivate my own, because you can maybe lose yourself if you're too much intertwined with someone else, where they in part define who you are. And so it's very important to like always maintain your own life and your own independence and not just be so dependent on each other.
Yeah, it's
it's always a balance. My whole personality is, I'm very much a Libra. So I just always see the balance in all of these things. It's like this and also that and like weighing things up. So
You mean you are good at separating you and the other person and still work like parallel line, not invading each other too much?
Yeah, that's like specific. Like I'm aware of that, but in a general sense, it's like noticing about like the benefits and the drawbacks of each situation you're in. If you're like on your own and you want to be with someone, and like the lessons that can teach you if you're in a relationship. But then if you're together with someone, then there are times when you need to learn more about yourself and you have to like just be solely your own person and not be with anyone else, Yeah, so I mean like I'm seeing all different angles and like the benefits and the drawbacks and
So what has been your relationship with women in general?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, have you had any problem with your own character, with your own unresolved issues that you projected onto her, or you didn't really struggle with that?
I think there is an aspect of Well, I feel like I'm pretty secure in myself, and like the longest relationship I had was for 3 years, and like when me and this person broke up, we still loved each other at the time, but we both agreed that we needed to separate to like grow our separate ways and like be the best version we could be, because like things weren't really working, or being like we couldn't sustain it going forward. I did notice that I was lacking in my own independence, so like being too much defined by the relationship and not knowing myself just as me, and like...
Is it because the other person was too needy, or wanting to spend too much time together, something like this? You lost your independence? Like,
There has been that, like in previous relationships, yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's goes through that. The relationship is
And
like...
they're all different. They all bring out different versions of you, and like maybe you think you're secure, and then you meet someone and they just like bring out a different version of you.
Yeah.
Just because of the dynamic has to be that way. Like,
have you ever suffered with jealousy, like thinking or assuming even that they were doing something behind your back? Because sometimes I struggle with this.
Somewhat. I think I would like, yeah, veer more on the side of being a bit anxious about that. So like the insecurity there, but quietly it kind of eats away at you sometimes, and it's like...
If you don't speak about it.
That's the main thing, is, yeah, the importance of communication and voicing these things to like, because if you keep it within, it like festers, and you can, yeah, ruminate too much on it.
Yeah, 100% communication is so essential in a relationship. Like, literally, I think 99% of the problem of people in a relationship is lack of communication.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially men. Many men don't know how to communicate with their women, and women love to communicate.
Yeah, there's not like a coming together. They speak different languages, or many, I guess, men haven't learnt proper, like, maybe emotional language or sensibilities, or like...
But because I think the main reason is because in society, toxic masculinity is the ruler, has been ruling for so long, the need for power, for strength.
Yeah, just
it's in every society in the world, most societies.
Yeah, it's very dominant, like, you know, particularly in the West.
Yeah.
Like, just the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And where, like, men have felt like they needed to dominate and, like...
Yeah, and suppress emotion and keep to look like you are strong, but it's a weakness to repress. Yeah. It's actually a weakness. You suffer, only you suffer. I've learned how to cry. I'm very comfortable crying. Before I thought, I don't cry. I never cry. Like somebody tell me, I don't remember, they asked me something, have you been crying? I said, no, I don't cry. But I was operating in a society mentality.
Being conditioned to think that.
And I was suffering. I suffered a lot because ignorantly, I wasn't even aware why I suffer.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of society. Long story short. Get out of society for a good while and you realize many things.
Yeah, so walk the path of solitude and reconnect and remember. There's a lot to do with remembering who and how you are, rather than like trying to like get new knowledge. It's like stripping away what you've been conditioned to think, conditioned to believe, and your programming that's based on your upbringing and your culture and everything. Because you're born into a world in a time, in a place, and like whatever that is for you, like, is the norm. And so that's your base, and that's what you think is normal. So it's like, but there's always the case of like that external conditioning, like parents and or external things like education, institutions, and trying to like put things in you that aren't really like
It's not
what's
you.
true and healthy. So yeah, we live in a toxic world and very
Yeah.
detached world.
Where control is the nectar of the function of society. Control.
Yeah, it's a very Western thing.
Yeah.
Very like capitalist, trying to control and exploit what's around you to, you know.
What do you think about Asia, where we are, Thailand? What do you think is much different here?
Well, I've only been living in Chiang Mai, so I haven't really journeyed around Asia that much, so I don't have direct experience. But I can speak here. I notice it particularly like in this city and I guess in Thailand. It's interesting because it's very, you could say religious. There's like a very strong Buddhist culture and like a dominant like spiritual religious aspect to the society here. But I feel like it's healthy in the way that it like, you see like it's very integrated into everyday life, and the monks walk the streets in the early morning, everyone in the shops gives offerings, and there's this like exchange of like, or like an honoring of like also the immaterial aspect of the world, not just like material surface level stuff, but it's like something invisible that is nourishing for like for your being, and like the society and the culture runs on that, and is in part why I think this city in particular is so safe.
But
It's interesting.
I feel like in relationship they have some problem in Thailand. I heard there's a lot of divorce cases. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. I think there's like
I'm not sure what really is the.
I think there's a more awareness of like trying to like resolve conflict in schools and things like that, but I think also part of the culture is like not trying not to let it get to that stage where it like explodes, or you know, where like you try not to get angry or something. And
Yeah.
I think maybe I can't speak like so with too much like authority about this, but I think there's like blockages a bit where like people can't fully express themselves, and maybe there's outlets like Muay Thai, I guess, where like people can like be more, you could say violent, or like express their emotions through something physical like that. But otherwise, I think there's not like a healthy amount of openness in terms of confrontation between people here.
Yeah, there is. I feel that, yes.
But other places like, you know, in Italia, like the culture is very open. People just say whatever they want. They are very open with their emotions, with their
No, it's not. No, it's
much
not.
more than here. Like it's like they express what they feel in a cultural sense.
It's very close-minded in Italy too, man. It's very toxic, Italian society. Very toxic.
Yeah, in different ways. But there's a different sense. It's not like not being able to express in like a culture, in a broader cultural sense. I think it's
Like in Italy, that's where I was born. The society is so toxic. In Italy, Italy is one of those countries where control is it's predominant. It's one of these countries very strong control. I suffered a lot because I experienced people with closed mind first of all from my parents, then also in society, where men keep everything inside. And anyway, but I wanted to say, well, I've been in Vietnam. In Vietnam, I notice it's very healthy, kind of the relationship. I don't know what it is, but in Vietnam, I know it's a communist country. It seems like it's working very well there, the communism, and everybody is kind of equal. I've never been fan of communism, but I never really understood the meaning, literally, like, because there are countries like China that is a communist country, right? But I never been, but I heard there's a lot of problems there in society and things. But in Vietnam, which is also communist, although it's quite pure country, but everybody seem very happy with each other. I don't see much conflict, even in relationship. I see often in the street very loving couple, Vietnamese couple. Here in Thailand is a bit less common. And I noticed in Vietnam is way of living is very nice. That's why I love Vietnam.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I don't know how much you can glean just from seeing the surface level, like, I don't know. And
yeah, it's what I saw. Not really, I didn't delve much in it, but
yeah, because also like Vietnam is dealing with a lot of like trauma passed down from like the Vietnam War and all of that. There's a lot of like kind of poverty and like difficult things as well in the country that's been like passed down and like yeah.
But they're still very happy and welcoming. Like even with the I've been there recently, and they welcome Americans, they welcome everybody. They're just very kind. But yeah, for sure, there are still, like, I met a girl, very nice girl, and she said her father hit her. There's still trauma. It's very common in Vietnam that parents mistreat their children like that. I met another person, another girl also. She said her mother used to hit her very hard. Yeah, there's some Vietnamese family are very harsh because of the trauma, I guess, from the war.
Yeah.
Lot of things.
Yeah.
But in general, in the world, to be human is not easy. Anywhere there you will find problems like this. It's common. We are humans. Doesn't matter what country. In the end.
Yeah, it's just part of the human experience. So what do you think about the human experience in terms of our purpose and why we're here and
the meaning of life?
Yeah, come on, tell us. The people, that's what they're waiting for.
What is the meaning of life?
Let's not beat around the bush, come on.
The meaning of life is love. I've always looked for God. Not always, but I've been searching for God since 2020, I think, 2018, when a depression hit me out of a sudden that I couldn't explain where and how it hit me. And I stayed in bed for 6 months every day. I lost all my money. I couldn't go to work. I just couldn't see anybody in 2018. And then from there I started searching for meaning, because my life had no meaning. And I searched for God, but I realized God is not the answer, because I've been searching for God and God led me to love. Love is the answer. When you find love, real love, you will find God automatically. But if you try to find God, you will not find what is God anyway? What is God? To me, love is God, because especially after my last relationship, I've experienced a love that I'd never experienced in my life before. There was always love with condition in my life, toxic. But with my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, I finally experienced love, and I can say the meaning of life is to find love, uh, the real love. And I don't know why. I don't know why we need to find love. I don't know the meaning behind love. It just is. Like, what is the meaning of a mountain? The mountain, why is it shaped like that and not like this? It's just is. I don't know.
Mm.
The meaning of life, who the fuck knows? To me, is I found love, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well. I think I would agree. And you've been through it, like you went like you said, depression and like trying to search for meaning, and then could you say that God is love, or like, because it depends,
Yeah,
like you said then God led you to love.
yeah, because
you don't need to like label it, it just is.
I don't know. I just put God before anything. Before I even tap into love. Like, I remember in my relationship, I read the Bible, and I neglected her, my girlfriend. I was just in bed reading my Bible, trying to find the meaning, and I couldn't find anything. Yes, I found some wisdom, some very meaningful things are in the Bible, but I neglected the real thing which was right next to me. I neglected it, and I paid the price after keeping to neglect and not giving enough credit and cherish and support to my beloved. And I realized after breaking up that's the real meaning to me, is to share also. The real meaning of life is to share your life with somebody, because to be alone is it's okay for some time of your life, but I think it's nice to share. When you experience love, pure love, and you overflow with love, you naturally want to share it with somebody. You don't want to keep it for yourself. You want to share it with others. Yeah, it's a complicated topic.
Yeah.
The meaning of life.
But I think love is the meaning that binds all life together, the universal glue. Like I was saying before about like love translating to unity. That's what most cultures and like civilizations in the world arrived at, is like unity is one thing, and the universe is one thing, and it's all interconnected. It's not like this and that separate. It's all one. We're all one, and that's what love is. Love is connection. Love is, and so whatever the opposite of love is the separation and the like disconnection between things. I don't know what you would call that, but the meaning is about like things coming together because it's all connected. So, yeah.
Have you heard of the egg theory?
Go on.
Yeah,
Egg theory, yeah, the universe comes from the egg. You can. I've got things to say, but go on.
I just saw a video on TikTok about the egg theory, and that mentions that we are as humans we like I am Blake but from another time or something, I am me. I've been every other human in the past, and today I'm me. In the next one I will be another person, like, so I experienced Michelangelo, I've experienced Hitler, I've been Hitler, I've been every human being in the past. And
But we all have been.
we all have been, you have been also. And I will be you, or I've already been you. I don't know. It's fucked up. It's just another theory that nobody knows. Nobody fucking knows. But yeah, just interesting, the egg theory that you experience every human life until there's no more human life to experience, then eventually you reach God or whatever you go. I don't know. But I think I don't know why I brought this up, but
Yeah, there's a lot of symbolism around the egg, and the egg birthing the world. When people think about what came first, the chicken or the egg, I think the answer is actually pretty easy. The egg came first. Because at one point in time, the egg birthed what is known as a chicken. But before that, the egg birthed different things. And then you could think even the whole world came from an egg. The egg exists outside of time.
but to me, I think we are inside a human cell. Like, what makes us believe we are, like, what the Fibonacci thing? What's
Yeah,
called?
fractals.
Yeah, that you can keep zooming in or zooming out or something.
Yeah, self-similar at different scales. So
We
we got
might-
cells in the body, and then at this level, we are also cells in a larger body.
Yeah, to me, we might as well be inside a human being.
Yeah,
And these
I think
human
it's
beings
like-
are in another earth and we are inside their body.
yeah, same but different. Like, in our bodies, there's constant wars and suffering going on. Good bacteria against bad bacteria. And the harmony of our body is dependent on the chaos at that lower level. And so the chaos at this level, one could say that there's a necessity to that for a harmony at a higher level. I think it was Alan Watts that phrased it like that, and I always think back to that because it's interesting. Because you think about why is there so much suffering? Why is there so much pain in the world? And just we're not without war for the last 4,000 years, and yeah, you can go into all sorts of we're living in Kali Yuga, the cosmic dark age, and so we're at the lowest in the cycle where it is like that. We're the most separated, the most destructive. But it's interesting to think about, not to try to perpetuate suffering, but there's kind of sort of a reason for it if we are to think about the fractal nature of the universe, of the turmoil of our cells living and dying and fighting each other for our bodies to function properly,
That's
God
right.
damn.
Things have to die as well for the maintenance of things.
Yeah, it's all the cycle of life. The leaves fall from the tree, the leaves are dead, they're death, and the dirt is just death, but then that has the nutrients for new life to grow more trees and to sustain life, and it's all just...
It's crazy. Recently I took a plane and I was thinking, if the plane crashes and you experience 2 seconds where you see the flame coming, the sound, and you have 2 seconds to realize you are dead, you are going to die. And I'm thinking, fuck, because I've been alive 33 years, all of a sudden I'm dead. Where am I going? What's it gonna, like, it's crazy. I don't think you will ever be ready for death unless you are so advanced in meditation and you experience out of body. But yeah, death is crazy to think about because you associate with this for so long, oxygen, and what's gonna be after. It's fucking crazy to think.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. Like, for me, it makes quite a lot of sense, like the idea of reincarnation, because you look at every aspect of life and nature, and it's just cycles, and things come and go. And like I was saying about the leaves of the tree dying, the death creates life. It doesn't make sense that we just live one life. Like, we die in order for like new life to get reborn. And there's experiences of people having past life regressions and things like that, and like, again, spiritual practices that can tap into afterlife, and like the Bardo and like the Tibetan tradition, where they've like mapped out there's like 40 days before you kind of reincarnate. And
40 days.
yeah,
There's always this 40 days thing, like the Buddha got enlightened within 40 days. Jesus fasted for 40 days.
yeah,
Something else. But there's something about 40.
that's also interesting when it like is across wildly different traditions and cultures and times, but there's something of the same, like 40 days for like some form of like time limit of something or number of something. It's like makes you wonder, like, there's something to that, because different cultures in different times or at the same time arrived at
But you know
that.
Osho? Have you been listening to Osho? He says that the moment there's multiple religions is the moment none of them are true. Because truth is one. It's only one truth. You cannot have multiple truths in life. There's one truth, one religion. There cannot be multiple religion. There is only one religion.
And that's why a lot of wars have started, because each religion thinks theirs is the one.
Yeah.
So, but the idea there, I think, is that like all of those religions are noticing a truth, capital T truth, and they're seeing it in a different light, in a different perspective, and it's all seeing the same thing from different angles. And you can find common threads with all of them, and the same like insights, and like, you know, it's phrased in different ways.
I just don't see the meaning of dividing when we are all aiming to go into the same place. We are all aiming at in the same direction. What is the meaning of different beliefs and ways to get there?
It's just how nature honors diversity. You look in life, you meet every sort of person you could imagine. You encounter all sorts of different things. As an artist, it's like the same as saying, like, why doesn't all artists just make the same thing? Because obviously they have different experiences and they speak their truth. And the same with like cultures and whatnot. Like, obviously people born in different times and whatever, different cultures have.
Yeah, but I don't go, if I'm an artist, I don't go and tell you this is how you should draw. You have to draw exactly the same painting. There is freedom to, you are your own, you know?
Yeah.
I mean...
So it's just, it's all art, it's all like unique perspectives coming together, and it informs the human condition. But it's important to recognize the diversity. You know, we're all one, but we're all doing our thing, and trying to arrive at the same thing through different languages, through different experiences and beliefs.
But you know, I've been talking to a friend and he said to me that the causes of war is always economical and for territory. It's rarely for religion. Religion is after. The conflict of religion happens after once the invasion of the territory. But the primary cause of war is invasion for the territory, for the resources.
Yeah, you can see like
It's
with
never
what's
about
going on
religion.
today is also, you can see it in the light of religion, but then it's also just accumulating more land and accumulating resources, and it's very capitalist actually, and very materialist,
So you
very
think
material driven.
You think we should go to communism? Communism like Karl Marx? I don't know much about it. I want to inform myself more, but they basically we don't believe in private property. They want to abolish private property and
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on it, but like all of these systems are designed by humans and inherently flawed, and so they look good in theory, but then there's terrible aspects of it, like, you know, even like in the USSR, like last century, what is now Russia, there's like, you know, not great aspects to the system, and like people suffer from it as well, but people are suffering from capitalism. I think there can be a way about it that, like,
I think it all comes down to love in the end.
love and
You can have capitalism, communism, but anything without love crumbles, right?
yeah. We're getting into different territory here, about governing people, and it's tricky about who holds power, and
Yeah, I think the moment there is power over other people, there's no love is harder to flourish because the moment that you have power over another being, how can you love? There cannot be love because power means it equals lack of freedom in a way. Love is freedom. So how can we how can humans be happy, function without the need of power control? How can we abolish this government or some society? Is it possible?
I don't know. I think maybe the ultimate form of governance is like an anarchic form of governance. Anarchy, not meaning no governance at all, but like self-governance. So every person is like governing themselves, and I think that's in a way how nature operates, where everything like is self-organizing, self-regulating, and there's a homeostasis because everything's trying to reach an equilibrium. But humans are pretty fucking weird, and so we jeopardize that, and again we get greedy and we have like really dark aspects to our nature that, like, you think that you're better than the worst person that's existed in history, but you have that same seed within you, and in those same circumstances, like, you could just as well have ended up the same with that amount of power, that amount of greed and like control. So I don't know. Humans are of this earth, but they're also like different to everything else on this planet, and so
I feel like going back to Vietnam because in Vietnam I noticed the least amount. I've never seen a police block anywhere in Vietnam, anywhere. I just see freedom. Everyone is free. I just feel like the government, of course, is there, but I didn't feel there was a government. Very subtle. It's like it's the countries with the least amount of control have been Vietnam, even more than Thailand. In Thailand, there's police everywhere. The government, also the fact that here in the ATM you have to pay 250 baht every time you get cash. It's a, I mean, the government is very strong here in Thailand. Also for money, the profit, the tourism. But in Vietnam, it's very subtle. That's why I love Vietnam. It's a different energy, different. It feels more.
It's a bit more chaotic, but more free. You feel your
Yeah,
experience.
it's more free. And
Yeah,
it's a
interesting, I think.
communist country.
Yeah, I mean, there's police here, but generally they're very. It's all relative. They're chill compared to a place like Australia. You know, where
Australia is hell.
yeah, where just way too much control, and every little thing out of line, you just boom.
Yeah,
just
it's fucked
kill you.
up. That's
So-
why some of the most depressed human beings are in Australia, right? A lot.
Yeah, it's
And
many are suffering, and yeah.
I lived in Australia 11 years. The last 2 years I left because the last year I was there, I couldn't breathe anymore. Because there's so much negativity, negative energy in Australia that is so drenching, especially in the city. There's beautiful nature in Australia. You can meet a lot of beautiful people, but I mean, if you in the city is really depressing.
Mm.
You felt it too?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, like, there's a certain like dominant atmosphere, but I tried to surround myself with like-minded people that were more like about community and like love and resisting the system. But again, the dominant thing is pretty. You feel it, so you notice places like Southeast Asia, Thailand, or Vietnam is different. There's not that dominant control.
This is why.
Again, it's a different experience because you're like a foreigner in a foreign land. Even though, I mean, many Australians are also foreigners, but you know what I mean. The whole culture is like that. Yeah.
This is why going back to Australia makes me feel sick. Just the idea. But yeah, what's next with you? What is your plan in the future?
Well. Yeah, I'm enjoying my time here. I feel like ideally to be able to like go kind of back and forth between here and Australia is the ideal. But here as sort of a base is a lot more connected to other countries. Like Australia is very far away from everywhere else. But I don't know, things feel good here, things flow easily here, so it feels good, feels right. So continue with my projects, writing books and pushing out content, making art, meeting people, and networking and building community. Yeah, and trying to live a more sustainable life that's independent and self-fulfilling. That's the goal. So
Simplicity is key in the end. Complication is never a good thing. Like in Italy, we have pasta with pomodoro. It's one of the best dishes. It's just pasta and a bit of tomato sauce. This is how you should live. Simple. Not too much complication, wanting this,
all these
that.
ingredients.
All we need is shelter and food. Everything else is a bonus.
Shelter, food, and love. Yeah,
You
we don't
cannot
need
live
much
on
sis-
you cannot live on bread alone.
Yeah,
That's one very true thing.
yeah,
You have love is fundamental.
but we don't need much. The more you live, the more you realize that. Hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much that we think we need, so much advertised to us that we just do not need. And we live in a world that's trying to like,
Make you want to consume.
yeah. So
I
resisting that is part of the,
yeah.
the fight.
I notice social media is so dangerous. Like I often see myself scrolling through TikTok or Instagram for so long.
Mhm.
I pick up my phone and I realize already 1 hour is gone. It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
So I have to be mindful of that also.
Yeah, and it's just a roller coaster of emotions. Like, it's almost like gambling. You're just like scrolling, swiping, and you get inspired, get frustrated, get sad, get happy.
Yeah.
You know, and it just your system can't regulate that amount of different chemicals firing so quickly, and then you just feel like drained after, and like depleted of energy and all fucked up because you're just like flooding the system. So resisting social media, get off social media, live slow, live intentionally. That's also part of living a life of love and depth and value, like what truly is valued in the end is just.
You know, I always thought that going to the army is hard because you renounce everything. You have to. It's not easy, but to me, the hardest thing is to be alone and be disciplined. Nobody's there to tell you get out of bed, to kick you in the ass, get out of bed, do what you need to do. It's all you. You are on your own. In the army, you have every morning at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. someone tell you to wake up. It's hard because you need to get used to.
It's a different discipline, but
eventually you get used to. But if you are like us in the normal daily life, it's the hardest thing to be alone. To be disciplined, not to consume too much things. Because you are total free in the end. Freedom can be also a prison if you don't use it properly. So yeah, the last message I want to give is to discipline. To me is freedom. I know discipline is not a very nice word, but discipline is essential for your.
It's true.
Function.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you are intentionally cultivating your life. Like the discipline creates the intentionality. Like it's not just like being so open with it. It's like having the structure that breeds or cultivates the intentional life of doing what you want and
Everybody struggles with discipline because comfort is so addictive in a way because it's so instant.
Yeah.
I mean...
Now it's everywhere. We just have so many comforts.
But comfort is a slow death. Comfort is going to kill you faster than... That's why I feel like fighting for me is essential martial art because it's a discipline that... to me is essential. Without it, I will just not function, and who knows what happened to me. Anyway, mate, thank you for sharing this time with me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, so glad to finally do it in some form. We didn't walk, but we talked, so that's good.
We didn't walk, but we talked. That's important thing. Next time we'll see, maybe we will walk.
Walk, we talk,
with the talk. Walk or with the talk?
We'd talk.
Have you been smoking lately?
No.
good job, because me too makes me
I've
paranoid.
got health complications that don't allow me to do that.
Mm.
It's interesting to like tap into different frame of mind for inspiration or jolting the pathways, but in general, straight and clear and focused that's what feels good, you know.
Mate, you want to share your procrastin up?
Okay, as a final thing, yeah, okay, this is off air-ish. Not really.
It will be included in the...
We include everything here. So this is the first book that me and my dad published as a journal, anti-procrastination journal, Procrastinope. Put yourself together. So I designed this. I've got my illustrations different on every page, and there's reverse psychology reminders that tell you ways to procrastinate. That, you know, there's a humor involved in it, but it also gets you to kind of confront your fears in the hope that what you're fearful of is the blockage that you need to confront in order to achieve what you actually want to be doing. Because often, you know, you want to do something, but then you're equally fearful of that because it's uncertain, it's unknown. So
You are scared to look stupid. I think most of the problem is when you...
yeah, there's like different degrees of like shame or guilt or embarrassment
That's actually the number one fear of humans, to look stupid.
yeah,
The fear of looking stupid.
yeah. So there's a lot of like shame. Society runs on shame. A lot of religions, like Christianity, run on shame. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Be shameless and confront what you need to confront to do what the fuck you want to do, you know?
And get
So,
the
yeah.
procrastinope.
Available here from Magic Brew in Chiang Mai or online. Check out noteworthy.com is our website with our catalog and different books that we're putting together. So, yeah, that's a bit of my story. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for you, Blake, and for you guys. And we are in this together. We are not separate. You may as well be in this room with us. We are all together.
Yeah, we're all learning, unlearning, and
Unlearning,
living.
and then the truth.
Unlearning is very important, even more important. You know?
But actually, I last thing, I don't remember if it was Osho saying it, but somebody said, you don't need to learn anything, because once you come across the truth, that's it. You know the truth. You don't need to unlearn anything. You are automatically discarding everything you've ever learned. You don't need to make any effort to unlearn anything once you discover the truth.
The real truth is something that you're born with, and that existed before you. So again, it's unlearning, it's remembering. It's not something that's out there that you
need to tap into it.
It's within you. It's already there, and like it's already here.
Yeah.
You just
And automatically, when you discover that, you will discard everything else.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Blake. Good job.
Peace out. Good luck. Ciao ragazzi.
See you. And don't fuck with us.
Grande. Ok.